What's up guys, my name is Ace and welcome to The Breakdown. In this series I analyze your guys' gameplay to help you improve. In today's episode we're going to be analyzing a kill confirmed gameplay from DavyJ835. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so for those of you that are new to The Breakdown, I analyze subscriber gameplay. So that means yes, you guys can submit gameplay for The Breakdown. I will go over that at the end of the video though, to give you all of the details that you need to know about submitting a gameplay. But what I do with this series is I analyze subscriber gameplay. I don't analyze the entire gameplay from start to finish, because then the episodes would be like 30 minutes long and I just don't have time for that. So I just pick out various situations throughout the gameplay where I feel there's a lesson to be learned from that situation. Sometimes it'll be pointing out something that the person did right, and other times it'll be a bit of a more critical analysis of what they did wrong. So in today's episode, we have a kill confirmed gameplay on Infection, and he's using a shotgun in this gameplay. Normally, I'd point out that the shotgun is just not the right gun for this map, especially for a game mode like Kill Confirmed, where people tend to be spread out pretty far. But I'm sure he's aware of that, and he's just going for some kind of a challenge or something, so I just wanted to point out that yes, this is definitely not the most ideal map for a shotgun, but he's challenging himself, and he plays decently well considering the map that he's playing on with a shotgun. So let's start it off with his opening route right here. He has a shotgun and he went to this side of the map, which is a pretty long line of sight. I don't know if I agree with this opening rush, simply because if any of the enemies would have jumped up onto the floating platform, he would have had no option to get to cover, and he would have had absolutely no way of challenging that enemy, and he would have just been a free kill for the enemy. So not the greatest rush route, but I like how he did handle it. He did get lucky, nobody did push that floating island, and when he saw these enemies, he backed off and cut off those long lines of sight very effectively, and then he started kind of sliding backwards more. Then I think he realized that this was a bad idea to keep sliding backwards, and he pushed forwards a little bit to try and close that distance in case that enemy were to come around the corner. So very well played in this situation, all things considered, but one thing to really pay attention to here is if an enemy would have pushed that floating platform, he wouldn't have stood a chance. It would have been a free kill for the enemy. So I want to back things up just a little bit here and go back to this respawn right here. So he jumps right out into the open like this, and it's not such a bad move simply because if you look at the minimap right now, his teammates look like they have complete control over the middle of the map, so he can be somewhat confident pushing out into the open like that a little bit. But when he actually sees this enemy, he actually aims down sight at this enemy. It's almost as if he forgot he had a shotgun. There is no way he can deal any damage to that enemy with his shotgun at that range. And his priority, as soon as seeing that enemy, his priority should have been to get away, get cover, try to jump away, slide away, just escape that guy's line of sight and let his teammates deal with him, because his teammates were all over the place. Instead, he tried to aim down sight at him, I don't know why, and of course that got him killed. Skipping ahead just a little bit, he notices the enemies are spawning over on this side of the map, and he wants to close that distance. I really liked how he hugged the wall in this scenario. A lot of people don't really realize that you can do that to cut off the longer lines of sight, and a lot of people would have swung wide in this situation. If he would have swung to the right a little bit and gone wide around that corner, he would have potentially opened himself up to a longer line of sight on the people that were just coming off of spawn back there, and that would have been a very bad move. So it really didn't do anything for him here, but it definitely was worth mentioning that he does know that you can hug that wall to try and keep those lines of sight as close as possible. Now right here is just a great example of how you should be playing on this map if you are using a shotgun. He's getting in towards the enemy's flank, and he's taking them off guard here. He only did get the one kill, but still, this is how you should be handling a shotgun on this map. Now, as he's flanking back towards the other side of the map, because now the spawns have flipped and the enemies are on that side, he sneaks up behind this enemy, but he can't quite close that distance in time to get that one-shot kill. A great tip that probably would have worked for him here, and it works a lot with the shotguns in this game, is slide into your shot to close your distance. Because when you slide, you get that initial little speed boost, and if you would have come up behind that enemy and hit the slide button, he might have been able to close that distance fast enough to get the one-shot kill on him, and get a kill rather than the assist. Now right here is great patience. When he comes around this corner, he knows there's going to be an enemy there. Instead of sprinting around the corner and then trying to shoot him, which by the way, I don't think he's using gung-ho in this gameplay, he walks around the corner with his hip fire centered where his enemy is going to be, and he's not sprinting. He's not going to get caught sprinting here. He's ready to take that shot as soon as the enemy appears in the center of his screen. Now, unfortunately, the shotguns in this game are very inconsistent right now, so the second guy was able to take him out, even though he was ready for that gunfight and got his shot off in time. Moving on to this next situation, this is a situation where the opposite was true. He did not have patience in this situation, and not only did he not get any kills or even hit markers because of it, he got killed because he took this shot way too early. There's a good chance that enemy that flanked him and shot him in the back wouldn't have even seen him there if he wouldn't have fired the shot first. Also, there is no way he's going to get a kill at this range. Maybe a hit marker. I could see how he might think he might have got a hit marker, but there's no way you're getting a one-shot kill at this range. He should have played it a little bit sneakier, tried to close that distance on those enemies before taking a shot and revealing his position. Just a really quick thing to point out in this situation here, he knows an enemy is going to be coming up towards that rock for that piece of cover, and I like that he jumped before coming up to that. That just makes him a little bit less predictable to the enemy that's going to get there. So if that enemy had gotten to the rock before he had actually closed the distance, at least he would have been slightly unpredictable. He would have been up in the air. He would have taken away any sort of cover advantage that guy had, and it would have made for an easy kill. Now, skipping ahead to the next situation here. In this situation, he saw his teammate die there. He knows there's a couple tags over there, and he wants to go and get them. But he didn't check his right before he went there. It was very likely, actually it was pretty obvious there was going to be a guy to his right that just killed his teammate, and he wasn't going to be safe, especially not with a shotgun in that scenario. Instead of hugging that wall and pushing to the right first to check to see if there was a guy there and then trying to go and get the tags, he just ran straight for the tags and slid for him. So I think he got a little bit of tunnel vision there, and I think he might have been relying on his teammate a little too much to try and watch his side there. Now right here is actually a perfect example where he used the slide to close that distance on an enemy to get in that one-shot kill range just that much faster. So remember, when you're using a shotgun in Black Ops 3 and you have just that little bit of a distance to close to get slightly closer to get that one-shot kill range, use the slide to your advantage. It gets you there a whole lot faster. So one last situation that I want to analyze is as he's coming off of this spawn here, his teammate goes into the church and gets killed pretty obviously from a guy that's on the top of the stairs. If you were really paying attention, you would know that that's where the person was. They were sitting on the top of the stairs and they killed the teammate. And for some reason, I don't know why, he just ran straight in there with no preparation or forethought whatsoever. I think he was just going for that tag, but he just ran straight into his death. He didn't stand a chance there. He would have been so much better off trying to flank that guy. If he would have flanked the guy, he would have had such a great advantage over him as well because he has a shotgun and it would have been close quarters. So that's going to wrap it up for the very first episode of the breakdown for Black Ops 3. If you do want to submit a gameplay for me to analyze, keep in mind I don't analyze every single gameplay that gets sent to me because I do get a fair number sent to me, so it's no guarantee that if you send me a gameplay it will be analyzed. But if you would like to send me a gameplay to look at and potentially analyze for the series, it does have to be HD quality. At least 720p is what I need. And if you have that, upload it to YouTube and just make it an unlisted video. Make sure it's raw gameplay as well. I don't want commentary behind it. I don't want music behind it or anything like that. Just a raw gameplay, upload it to YouTube, and then send me a link to that video to the email address that is down in the description below. It's xclusiveace@gmail.com. I have a look at every single gameplay submission that's sent to me, and I pick through and choose the ones that I feel there are a lot of lessons to be learned from. So, because of that, that means I'm typically not looking for super exceptional gameplays, because it doesn't really do much for the audience if I'm just saying, yep, he's doing this right, he's doing great, good job, he did another thing good. I want there to be a little bit of struggle, and I want there to be some mistakes made throughout the gameplay that I can point out. So I'm looking more so for like average to below average type gameplay. I'm not looking for nuclears or high streaks or anything like that. I'm looking for average gameplay. So that's really the only criteria. If you have a gameplay that you'd want me to analyze for a future episode, please just send it to my email address linked below, and I'll definitely have a look at it. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.